Hi, I'm Notyetdead in name and in nature, and welcome back to Welker Farms. So, it's late spring. I put the times down to time down to times 1. I have a feeling it's going to be a busy day. So, as you already saw, I've started on preparation of field 15. So I've released the get the name. Brochard manure spreader, and filled that up at the fill point, purchase point, I suppose would be, several times actually, and boy does it take a long time to do. And I've already done a spread on field 15, and I've now got the case and the Big Bud 450 with the case ploughs, getting that ploughed over. The only one of our fields that needs ploughing, so I've done that first. And actually off screen, before I did that, I have put field 1 back together, so I ploughed out that section in the middle. We're going to use that all as one field this year. And I've also prepared quite a lot of equipment, first of which is at the end of this field, and actually is in the way because I want to manure it first. So if you remember, we've got a field there of oilseed rape canola. This field's going to be oilseed rape as well. And what I've done is I've released another Big Bud 747. And I've also leased the Seed Hawk, which is just the most amazing piece of equipment. It really is. Immense amounts of detail on it. It's just incredible. I didn't even look to see how many slots it was going to take. I can only assume it was quite a lot. Now the problem with this map and big pieces of equipment like this is that inevitably I'm going to be going on other fields while I'm trying to get ready. So I'll get that out of the way for a second. It cost a fortune to fill it up. As you can see, the money's dropped quite significantly. I've got the truck and the Mayor's Boss trailer on standby at the silos in case I need to go and sell something. I'm waiting for prices to go up to green. I've had no great demands for anything other than that one for wood, which I've got to say is pretty disappointing. So I've had no chance to sell anything at really good prices. So I'm a little short of funds, but you know, if we need emergency money and we've got a reasonable price, then I will sell something. I'm afraid I tend to be quite terrible in terms of I'd rather wait and hold off for as long as I can to try and get a decent, great demand. I was doing that all the time on Goldcrest. But hey, we'll see how we do. So, open it up, start it. So I'll do a little bit of this. We'll get a work on it as well. Need to go and make sure that the 2 workers are still going. Yeah, it looks like it. Money's going down. So actually I'll get a work on this because I need to bring you up to speed. So yeah, so if you remember from the last video, snow was everywhere. Fortunately, the predicted last day of snow didn't happen. It turned to rain, which cleared up most of the snow. So I did a little bit more wood, just cutting and stacking, starting to refill the trailer, etc. And then all of a sudden, the soil's warmed up, the snow's all gone, the poplars are ready for harvest, and I've got a day to get everything I can in the ground. My plan was that 13 and 12 would be canola, that 2 was going to be wheat. I think 21 and 20 I'd quite like to put sunflowers or corn once I've harvested the poplars I can I was going to put corn in there actually, so sunflowers probably in 20 and 21, and field 15 probably soybean. I don't like putting the same crop in the same field again, but fields 20 and 21 will be easier to sow using the Great Plains seeder rather than using these really big machines, which are much better for the larger fields. So sunflowers in there. I should remind myself of my prices. So 1500 on soybean is a red price. No, it's not. Is it really? Okay. Yeah, so you can see canola's going up at the moment, so I think when that hits a reasonable price I'm going to sell. Possibly same with the corn. Wheat's going down again. Very bad prices on wheat. And the wood chips are holding at 208, which is pretty bad. But yeah, so yeah, 15 soybean, yeah, and canola in those, and sunflower in those other two. Now, the only slight possible problem with that, sunflowers need 45 degrees. According to the weather forecast, which I don't have up at the moment, we're not going to hit 45 degrees within the sunflower planting window, which is today. In fact, we're not, are we? So if we don't hit the right temperature till tomorrow, then we'll have to put corn in those two, or I just plant them with canola. Yeah, it's a tough decision. I'll get more money for sunflowers, and I would like a field of sunflowers, but I'll get more money for a successful field of canola than I will for an unsuccessful field of sunflowers, and I cannot guarantee, you're going to run out of space, yeah, I cannot guarantee that I'll actually get the right temperatures for sunflowers, which will be unfortunate. Oh, you can tell I started the field with it's not straight. Oh, I don't know. Well, we'll get the others first and then we'll see how we do. It's only 8:30 in the morning. Could be that by later on the soil will have warmed up. Maybe. But it's not forecast to warm up. Now I'm going to go and borrow that. Before you get started, I'm going to do this bit and then I can line up the big bud again. The other big bud, the seed hawk. Let's do that. Let's not name things by tractor names. Let's use implements. We'll get all this set up and then I'll go check on the ploughs on field 15. And then we also need to think about starting to harvest the poplars. Not that was urgent, but I have leased the equipment, so I can get that started today. I could have left that till tomorrow, to be fair. They'd have been fine in the ground. I mean, the day rate on the machine's probably pretty slow anyway. Pretty small. The primary focus has got to be getting all these fertilised and seeded. There we go. Nice. Lovely. If a little smelly. Now I'm probably being slightly pessimistic. We probably could get all this done at ×5, but it's difficult. Could kind of do something between ×2 and ×5. Between ×1 and ×5. And it's the manure spreading that's actually going to slow us down. But I did say I wanted to manure, and I'd rather do it before we seeded. As is the way. Now then, is that right? Let's unfold it and get an idea of size. This thing's amazing. never used it before. So no. We're a little bit shy, aren't we? And the easiest way to do it will be to just drive it around and bring it around again. Because I do want to start on the right edge. The only thing with these big pieces of machinery, just manoeuvring into position. There we go, that should be alright. Right, I'll leave that there. Wait for the manure to get a bit further up. And then we'll get him started too. Okay, next. What you need to think about so actually once 12 is done, top of field 2 is the next priority for muck spreading. 13's already done because we did oilseed rape and had a few problems with it. 2 the same, it's got grass in it instead, but got fertilised when the grass got sown, so that's fine. And then we can get the manure spreader on 2120, which won't be so difficult, won't be so big. Cool, okay, actually looks like the plows are doing alright on field 15. We'll go check up on them. So, as you saw, they're doing okay. They'll be finished quite shortly. Actually, I'm even wondering if I need to start sowing that field first, but we'll see. Which actually I could do, because I could do it with the other seeder. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Anyway, we'll worry about that in a minute. So, we're up at field 8. Just to show you, I have put in, nothing against leg arm storage, but I think it needed a little bit more of an update. So I put in the Woodchip storage, which is only 10k. It'll be a lot easier to manage, both unloading and selling this rather large quantity of poplars. So I've leased the biggest trailer I could find that would go straight on the back of the thing, and it's the Krone TX560D, which I absolutely love this trailer, and the New Holland forage harvester, which I've never used before, with of course the poplar forage header. So got it all set up, ready to go. Leased again. I'm leasing from now on. I can't afford to buy any equipment at the moment. The amount of stuff that I need as it is. There we go. Did notice as well the case is a bit low on fuel, so I'll need to take that back to the yard when it's done its ploughing and fill it up. First ever poplar harvest. This is very exciting. They do look great when they're all grown, don't they? Brilliant. Quite a bit of doing this field, but it looks pretty good. All packed in. It's going to be some yield. I suppose it's not quite as high as I thought it might be, but I've never done poplars before, so I wasn't sure. And if I'm right, I think pretty sure it's going up a lot slower than it's filling up a lot slower than if I was, cutting corn for silage, chaff. Yeah, it's looking alright. I might actually just do all this myself. I might just do it in between, because as I said, it doesn't all have to be done today. I suppose the only problem is if I don't get it harvested, I can't get something else in the ground. But if I put anything in here, it'll be corn, so that can be tomorrow. So I've got time. Yeah, there's a few peculiarities with this geo. I think I wonder if it's because I'm running it 3 days. If I ran it 6, it may not be so bad. 6-day seasons, 3-day seasons. But challenge would have been if I'd have run it at 6 days, I probably wouldn't be able to finish before November 20th. So I'm struggling as it is to get it done at the moment. I just don't have the time. Annoyingly, I have to play as often as I'd like, let alone get the videos done. Find the opportunity and the peacefulness in a busy house. Small children. But it is relaxing to do so. We're going to get a strip before the trailers full. Maybe. Can't the capacity of this. Is it 56,000? Oh, missed a bit. That's annoying. Right, helper K and helper F have clearly met each other in the middle of the field. That's brilliant. The challenge of using workers. I should have started them in the middle, but I wanted to get them going while the manure spreading was still going. So I had no choice but to start them at each edge. Perfect. Right, well, best go sort out the helpers. We got stuck. That's weird. Why is it not? Very strange. Just won't turn. Oh. Too close to the edge of the map, maybe? No. That's a bit strange. Oh, there's a lot of bugs on the outer reaches of this map. There really are. That's very peculiar. Oh, back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. Just try and turn a bit earlier. There we go, that's better. Very strange. And we've run out of manure. Okay. Well, leave that there a sec. Let's go see what's going on. Right, so I thought I'd go grab the 747 and the muck spreader first, manure spreader. So I can start getting this refilled. It does take a while. I've ummed and may yet still go and buy just a big bucket and bring the wheel loader down here, because it takes quite a long time using the conveyor. I suppose I wonder if I could get 2 conveyors. Ooh, there's an interesting idea. I wonder if I could. That'd be something to try. Right, leave that running. Let's go see what's going on with these ploughs. Somewhere. Ah, that them over there in the distance. Because I think this looks all done, which presumably means that it's all done from the other end as well, and it's just this little patch left to do. Well, that would be amazing. They're almost perfectly lined up. That's just hilarious. That's some sort of duel, something from Red Dead Redemption. It's brilliant. Right, okay. We'll lose one. Pulled up. He'll say, I'm done. We'll check the map. Looks fine to me. Let's go. So we'll get these off the field. I'll leave the 450 here ready. I'll take the case back down to the main yard. Can return these 2 ploughs. They go. Don't need these or anything else? Not yet. Not currently. Anyway. Then we can, yeah, I'll get the case to bring back up the other seeder, the Hatzenbichler. Fill that up here, and then we'll get that started on this field. And I might even bring over the other one as well while we're finishing the manure. We'll have both seeders work on all the fields. They'll be done in no time. I'll go get the case. Right, so just bringing this back. So I popped the case down to the main yard, filled up the fuel tank. I think we were here up this way. Yeah, filled up its fuel tank and took it back up to the other yard with the Hatzenbichler, and I've just refilled that at great expense. Seriously, I'm worrying about the money. Any green prices yet? Yeah, sunflower. Well, that's helpful. Yeah, nothing else is going up. Corn's still going up. Well, fingers crossed corn will hit a decent price. Woodchips are still fixed. I mean, well, worst comes to it, we'll just have to sell whatever we got at whatever price we can get, but let's hope that doesn't happen. So, yeah, so I thought, I've left the case up there, so I thought I'd bring this back here, grab the other 747 with the C-Talk, and then I can get those both sowing field 15, given that's the one that's now ready. I may have sort of done this in slightly the wrong order, but we'll see. Oh yes, good point. So, is that in line? Yeah, roughly. Yeah, so the slight challenge being, of course, that I was planning on putting soybean in field 15, but I can't sow soybean yet. But in, you know, the process of trying to get as much done as I can today, I kind of feel it makes sense to get field 15 sown. So I will put wheat in 15, and we'll still stick with the plan of 12 and 13 will be canola. I think I might then, we'll see what's going on, but I'll get field 2 ready, I'll get fields 20 and 21 ready, and then I'll make a call on what I'm going to do with those. Might be that I end up putting soybean in field 2 if we get the temperature. Problem is, if the temperature's not visibly going up, I am not in a place to sow sunflowers by the end of the day, I may as well just get them all sown. Anything that's not sown today, if the temperatures don't go high enough to be able to do sunflowers, well, actually, if sunflowers is not high enough for sunflowers today, I've missed my window. And if it's not looking like it's warm enough for sunflowers today, I don't know if it's likely it'll be warm enough to do soybean or corn tomorrow, in which case I'll have missed my window to sow anything else, so I may as well just get them sown. So it's kind of what I'm thinking. It may end up that this year will just be wheat, barley and canola, and we'll just go with it, but we'll see how we do. So I'll jump out, quickly run away from the spray and get covered in it. And we'll go get the other 747 with the C-Talk and take it up to field 15. I think I'm going to split this across 2 episodes, so I'll get this over. We'll finish. I'll get these 2 running on Field 15, and we'll call it a day in terms of the video, and then I will get Field 15 sown off screen, keep the manure spreader running, and then we'll think about by then what we're going to do with the other fields. Hopefully, just jump out for a sec. It's this one, right? So what's the weather saying now? Yeah, weather's not even saying at the moment. The forecast isn't even suggesting it'll be warm enough for sunflowers tomorrow. Don't know. Should this not be folded? Oh, it is. Okay. Oh, I did the wrong one. Okay. So yeah, actually, I don't need that there. Yeah, it's not looking good. But then I wasn't supposed to, according to the weather forecast yesterday, I shouldn't be able to sow anything today, which was really making me worried, because it was saying the soil temperature wasn't even warm enough for anything. So I don't know. It's such a difficult decision, but we'll just see what the temperature. I could have actually done this at ×5. We've got this done a lot quicker than I was expecting. We'll just see what the temperature looks like towards the end of the day. It might mean I'll work late into the night tonight and sort of leave it to the last minute to make a decision on what we're going to do with those last few fields. And if it turns out it's not looking like it's going to get warm enough for anything else, then we'll just stick with the 3 main crops. It's no bad thing. We would have made a bit more money, but the prices are not great either, so that's perhaps less good than I was expecting it to be. This is an amazing setup. It's just huge. So incredible. I noticed the back. So are they some sort of feeders that feed out the pipes when it connects up? I don't know. Looks like it might be. Strange. Right, this is the slightly bigger setup, so let's start this one on this side. Actually, you know what? We're coming in from... Oh, I've done it again, haven't I? I folded the seed cart thing out instead. I'm going to do this bottom strip first, just to give us some manoeuvring room, because otherwise I've no choice but to go across the other fields. Turn around, and this will give us some quite extensive, so I'll just say wheat in this one. Yeah, okay, so perfect. I'll need to change the seed in the other one, which I'd already carefully changed. Oh, but this one I do, so let me sow it, please. Whew. This is an amazing piece of kit, just huge. Is it me, or did I just see some snow disappear? I think so. A sign that things are warming up anyway. I wonder how long this 18,000 litres of seed and 16,000 litres of fertiliser will last. Just astounding quantities. Absolutely amazing. So I'm still going to have to do a bit of a funny turn to try and not go onto the next field that I don't own. Still did, sorry. That was, yeah, a bit tricky. If I was going to be playing this map forever, I'd definitely widen some of these. But, one more year, I'm not going to have time to fit. I'll be lucky if I get that done. Especially on this one and South Mountain, let alone try and do another year before November the 20th. So I'm going to try and focus on getting this one done first, because I'm closest to getting to my finish point. I'm going to do... I think I might try and do a year of South Mountain Wolf finish. The Welker Farms is more popular anyway, so we'll stick with this one. It's great to use all this equipment. And you know what? I can leave that running, get it work on that, run away before I get run over. Because wow, that thing's wide. That's just amazing, isn't it? Look at that. Cool. And we'll run and get the case. Actually, well, run and get the case, but we'll stop and get the big bud 450. Can't remember if has the case got enough power to pull the Hatzenbichler? Case 313. Thinking not. No. In fact, if I remember rightly, the big bud is 450. Clearly, because it's 450, and therefore barely has enough power itself. So let's get the case out of the way. Feel certain we'll need it again soon. It's quite handy actually that both these seeders are both direct sow, because my goodness me, I had to cultivate as well. Mind you, if it does turn out that I'm going to end up using the Great Plains, I don't think that isn't a direct sow, is it? Or is it? I can't remember. So that means I need cultivating first, but that's fine. Need to pull away a little bit, quite sharpish, don't get stuck. And we got stuck. Yeah, this is a bit of a complicated setup to... Oh my goodness me, what a mess. Come on. There we go. Right, so let's fold this one out. No, not that one. And we'll do another strip along the bottom here. Changing seed type while I remember. And away. Oh no, sorry. Well, that was dumb. Rookie mistake. Still, at least I'm going to change the seed this time. So, I don't know. I don't understand that. I've developed this really bad habit of forgetting to change the seed. Isn't that funny? Because it doesn't show that it's down. But it is down. Is it working? Yeah. I hadn't noticed that before. But yes, I never used to do it. But just recently, I must be getting old. I seem to have developed this habit of not changing the seed type. But hey. Good. So that's a nice wide strip at the bottom here, so give plenty of turning room for both tractors, both setups. Quite expensive rigs. Just amazing. Got a bit of overlap there, but it's fine. It's just the strip. And then when I get to the top, no reports of the other worker getting stuck, but I'm assuming he's left a huge gap at the end of the field, so I think at the top I'll run a couple of strips in this as well. And again, I'll try and do a bit of a turn here so that it doesn't whinge too much about the fact that I don't own the field next door. Yep, there you go. And of course it stopped letting me seed, which is just genius. So actually what we'll do, just to make this a bit easier, we'll swing around, line up nicely, plenty of room now, and we'll start from the bottom. Give us a bit of chance to get a good line. Hopefully, he says, try not to miss a corner. I can fix that later. Just scoot over a little bit, it's not much. Not so much it starts complaining I don't own the field again. It's going to, isn't it? It's going to. Nope, we got away with that just about. Good. I'm going to work on that to get it nice and straight. Otherwise we'll get another bit missed at the bottom. That's fine, I'll tidy that up later. Good. We are away. Oh, and there's the other one coming down the field. The width on that thing is just astounding. Look at it, comparison. Wow. That's amazing. Well, actually, our muck spreader's doing a pretty decent job. Looks like he's nearly across the field. Hopefully, won't need refilling. I'm thinking now, what are the fertilisation states? So yeah, it's top of field 2 needs doing, then 2120 from scratch. When it comes to 2120, I don't think I'll get all those done in one go. So what I might do, as I talked about earlier, using a bucket to fill up the tank, what I might do is fill up the Mayor's Boss trailer with the autofill, and then bring the JCB down, lease the 10,000 litre bucket, and then I'll just dump a whole load of muck somewhere near these 2 fields, and then I can use that to refill the manure thing, and it'll save a bit of back and forth. That should be a bit of fun. But anyway, I'll get this field done, we'll carry on the muck spreading, and we'll see what temperature the rest of the day brings. Fingers crossed we'll be at a point where we can make a reasonably firm decision, one way or another, about what we do with the rest of the fields, whether or not we can leave some to tomorrow, or whether we need to get them all done today. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet and you would like to, be great if you could. And yeah, drop us a comment, any thoughts, anything you'd like to see in the last few episodes of FS17 before 19 comes out next week. And yeah, spread the word, as I always say. You know, it'd be great to start getting the viewership up. I will be continuing on FS19, that's currently the plan, but I kind of want to get the viewing figures up a little bit, because, you know, I enjoy making the videos, but if they're not getting watched, you know, it's quite a bit of work to do the editing and stuff, so, you know, it'd be nice to get a few more viewers in. And yeah, otherwise, I'll look forward to welcoming you back to Welker Farms very soon, and we will finish off getting all our fields ready. I'll see you then. Bye bye for now.